Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So if the word in fandom hasn't reached you yet, in the news and geekdom hasn't got you yet, that Star Trek Picard is good. Weirdly, strangely, inconceivably, it's good, and it's not just good, it's very, 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 very good. So this is a full spoiler recap and review of another frankly excellent episode. I think they get better from week to week. I mean, I think we had 5 episodes increasing in quality, and they started pretty high. I think they even made Raffi into a workable Star Trek watchable character. How do they do that? I don't know. This is all weird, okay? I don't know how this is going down. I just know it is, and I'm very, very happy it is. Can I ask you to like, share, subscribe, and comment? All those things are very, very good. If you're not on Rumble, head over to Rumble, mate, or head over to Rumble, wherever it is. Head over there. It's in the links, my Rumble channel. That's my main channel now. That gives me a lot more views, a lot more traction is going on there. So that's the algorithm I'm chasing. That's the algorithm I'm working for. Not YouTube, which has a finger, or should I say, a dead Ferengi head on the scale. Yeah, by the way, more great Star Trek criminal class this week. It's just great. I freaking like this show. I freaking love this show, I should say. I absolutely do. I when it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm buying this. This is something I want to have on physical media because it's really, genuinely that good. If there's an Art of Star Trek Picard, the final season, I'm buying that. They want to put merch out, I'm buying that. You want to make good action figures, I'm buying that. And look, this tragedy is this is probably one of the last things that's coming out of this iteration of Star Trek, and all of it's been awful apart from, I think, Strange New Worlds. But I think it's basically over, right? The bottom line, I think that they killed it, and they're going to find a new company to buy it, new thing to take on. I don't know when. But, we have this to enjoy until it comes back, and it's going to come back. It's going to come back. How do we know? Because it just has again, right? How many times does Star Trek come back from the dead? It just has again, and I'm very, very excited about it. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things are very good. Have the Rumble. Subscribe to me there. Look in the video notes. Subscribe to my my Substack, my email newsletter. Also, what else is there? There's my Twitter, that's my main social media. There is Facebook, there is Instagram. That's basically everything, baby. Okay, so this recap review comes from my live stream I did on Saturday night, March 18th. I'm recording this intro on March 19th. When am I publishing this video? I don't know. You know, you are in the future, as is the Star Trek people. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Fine, let me hand over to me from last night. It's interesting. The first three or four episodes made you feel like it was one block. That they're in, like, okay, this is the most reminiscent of it for me. It feels like Star Trek 2, 3, and 4 for Next Generation, right? And so now, by this episode, this is a very big fulcrum episode, moving the plot forward, but also burning great character moment, right? Character acting from Michelle Forbes as Ensign Rowe, or now Commander Rowe, and Ensign Rowe, and then Patrick Stewart. It's like really, really stand-out performances. Excellent stand-out performances in both of them, amid great story building up. I mean, I'm just loving this. And also so organically Star Trek. Well, yeah, I think Picard drops an F-bomb at some point. I can't say, I saw a story about it, but I couldn't remember it, so I'm probably upcoming, right? But loving the starship design. It's a bit daft that Picard and Rowe acted as if they'd been lovers, but that's the vibe I got, that they had slept with each other, right? That totally was the vibe I got. And they were bitterly hurt by each other, which is interesting. Anyway, so we start each episode with a go, it's Star Trek, wishy, woo, woo. Now, if you smoke lots of weed, of course, this would be even better than it is, but it's very good, even without. Great opening shot, okay? I don't know, I can't remember last time I saw an opening shot this good. Shaw is great in this episode. Yeah, it's hilarious. It's true. I love Shaw. I would love to see Commander. I like his bitchiness, right? It's great. So we have the blackness of space, pull out, ding, 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 and we're on the bridge. Like, oh, nearly home. We should be home soon. Nothing wrong's going to happen. I like the new LaForge, by the way. I think she's a great character. I think adds to the mix. In walks somebody, looks like Tom Paris. I'm like, what's Tom Paris doing there? He's got a phaser. Pew, 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 and he kills everybody. And it's Jack Crusher. What's going on? Dun, dun, dun. And he's on the bridge and he's alone and there's one person alive. He shoots them still. And they've got that weird, creepy stuff coming out of him. Something to do with the changelings. Obviously, they're after him big time. We don't know why. Good mystery, though, right? Good, interesting mystery. And then he wakes up from his vision and he's holding a phaser like, ah! And then he gets red glowy eyes. Oh, I got red glowy eyes now. What does that? I don't know. Maybe he's Bad Wolf. I don't know. But he's got red glowy eyes. Whoa! Picard, and yes, has earned all the words on the screen. I'm sorry. It has earned all the words. It is Star Trek. It is Picard. Imposters, nice title. So we're on the Titan. Like the Titan, look, it's meant to feel like the Enterprise, and it does. Right? It does. Wonderful. And we have, this whole shit with Shaw is fantastic. I love this. So Shaw gets back his command codes. First he reinstates 7 of 9. And he gets back to the command. So he said, you are in Shit Creek. They're here and they want to arrest you for treason. This is fucking hilarious. That's essentially short, this episode. And so he goes see Beverly and Jack and says, by the way, I do love the way they've done Gates McFadden's hair. I think it's just class. What she look like in real life? Is this what her hair really looks like? Because I love these highlights. I think it's very, very cool. All right, hang on a second. Gates McFadden. Gates McFadden. What are we going to get a bit of Pulaski in this episode? So they've darkened the non-grey bits a little bit, right? They've accentuated the white grayness. I like it though. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it looks good. Okay. So it says, yeah, listen, I'll take the brunt of it. And they're like, well, we got to know each other. And he's like, there's something weird going on. Okay. Raffi is redeemed. I'm sorry. This is such a clever use of the character, right? Pairing her up with Wolf. It's feels like the same character, yet she feels like she's in a Star Trek universe, and her combination with Wolf is really good, right? I'm really liking it, right? Distracted by a facelift. Well, she's not in it much, right? Is he a bit bulky? Who are we talking about? I don't know. Oh yeah, that was a great line. I'll just step outside so you can get your beer story together. That was Shaw, right? And Shaw is just fun. So, Star Trek hasn't been fun for so fucking long. He's so fun. More Shaw, please, everybody. More Shaw. Anyway, so we got Wolf and Raffi sparring with each other. Yeah, this all really works. I think it's great. The only thing is, I still see Michael Dorn as a Michael Dorn from All Good Things. Not like he's really old now, so it's a bit jarring. But still, he plays it well. And look, don't get me wrong. She annoyed me so much over the last couple of years. She's still reasonably annoying to me, but it's not her fault, right? So she's like, look, we got to go to Daystrom studio, right? Daystrom to find out what else was stolen, right? That was the whole thing. Yeah, so they think the portal gun, which is awesome, right? Was used as a distraction. There's a really even much worse weapon. So they got to go to Daystrom to find out. Okay, and their handler says no. Spoiler alert. So Daystrom. Well, we'll find out. I'll talk about it later. Find another way, right? So they talk about Daystrom Studio, and they said, okay. So we know that Sneed, the Ferengi guy, this is what, by the way, one way this show really succeeds in pushing forward the franchise is their depiction of criminality. The Ferengi they had in the other episode was awesome, right? Like the gangster rap Ferengi, loved him. That was so awesome, right? It was genuinely great. And so we get another great villain this week, criminal villain. So they go into the underworld. They're looking for this guy called Kryn, right? They're going around and they're like saying, because they're all scared of them now because they killed the other Ferengi guy, right? And she's like, So meanwhile, the Intrepid shows up. I like the design of this ship. Again, I like they're sticking with the form of Star Trek and doing something new with it. I like the design of the Intrepid, right? Interesting, doing something new, right? And said, okay, the Intrepid, their senior interrogators coming over in a shuttle. It's like, well, that's weird. So this, P.D. Rich very rightly says, this is awesome. More of this. I loved him in the Turbulence. He is giddy that they are going to get their ass handed to him. He's just like, this is awesome. He's like, skips away. And then we find out who the interrogator is. I'm like, oh, I recognize her. Who is that? That's Michelle Forbes. And the interesting thing is, because she's been in so many things since Star Trek, I forgot that's the first place I saw her, right? Which is really funny. I forgot she was in something. I was just thinking of Battlestar Galactica or True Blood, right? But she turns up. And so because we got the whole like changeling thing going, we don't know if she's a changeling because she's there and she's about to rip shit out Picard. And suddenly Saw's like, oh, this is not good. Meanwhile, the 709 goes and hides Jack Crusher there. Says, here, put this on. And he's like, I can't wear this. He's like, oh, no, my promise is going to come true. Okay, great use of Beverly Crusher here as they are doing an autopsy on the changeling. And I do like the way they change the changelings as well. Really clever, right? Also, love the LaForge, what's her name, seeing her body and vomiting. She's her body like throws up because she's brought into a confirm that's not her. And they're like, wow, this changeling has managed to keep its form even after death. This is something new. This is how they can really hide now. All I think is everything's changed now. Again, good way of moving everything forward. So they're like, what's going on? And so she comes in and pissed and is like, well, what's going on, bro? Why are you so mean? Right? But there's this epic, I forgot about this as well, this epic confrontation that goes through half the episode between Picard and Ro. Like, I forgot that Ensign Ro essentially betrayed, he sent her to spy on the Marquis. And she left and ended up joining the Marquis, all because of Hasperat. A very spicy, some kind of thing that she knows how to make. I'm in a mood for a bit of Hasperat right now. It sounded very good. But anyway, this is the first time Picard's seen her. And he's like, what are you doing here? And like, there's just sheer hatred between the two of them. And and so she wants to prove that she's not a changeling, although that doesn't work anymore, right? Meanwhile, he is Jack Crusher's freaking out a lot of this episode, right? People are all being beamed over to the Intrepid to a debriefing. Meanwhile, his red eyes come back as they beam out, and he said, "Are you okay, sir? The transporter chief, the ensign, whoever. You look a bit weird." And suddenly he shoots him down, and then he realizes that's just a vision as well. Okay, and he's like, "I gotta go." Meanwhile, again, so much good shit in one episode of Star Trek. I forgot this is what Star Trek used to be like. And it's using the multi-episode format, right? The serial format, not as a way of avoiding storytelling, right? Set up, payoff over and over again, right? Every other time we've seen this type of storytelling. It's designed. It's literally designed to avoid storytelling, right? It's just how you go, mic drops moment, right? So anyway, so they're moving the investigation forward, and they're looking for this Vulcan who they don't know it's a Vulcan. You're about to find out who broke into Daystrom's studio, Daystrom. Whatever they know he broke into Daystrom because Sneed covered it up. I can't fucking remember. Who cares? Right. So this guy, he was again. I was talking about this last stream on my non-spoiler review. He's awesome as a Vulcan. He's like he always plays these heavies, right? In like lots of things. Like he's got quite a good career going on. But here he's playing this Vulcan, very menacing, very Vulcan. I love his big gangster IDIC medallion. Right? Isn't that great? Right, and I just like, and there's a line in it like talking about how there will always be a criminal element, therefore being a criminal is a logical enterprise, right? And there's stuff like that, and it's just really good. Anyway, they're taken captive, and they finally get to work finding some changeling in it. So and it managed once they like really dissect it and like peel off the outer layers of the internal organs, then they finally find changeling goo, right? So somehow they found a way of being able to stay in form no matter what, right? Which is interesting. So back to the Ro Laren confrontation. Again, just really good subtle acting, and see the contempt in his face. Really pulls it because he's so mad he was betrayed. Love it, right? And here's the thing. We haven't seen our heroes be human in so fucking long, right? You see Michael Burnham, she's perfect at everything. So they call her Space Jesus, right? Here you see real anger and contempt, like not perfect behavior. And it's wonderful. It makes the character come alive. You should really have more of this, mate. Much more. And Ro also has a massive resentment, right? So meanwhile, these security people show up and they're looking for Jack Crusher. Jack Crusher's everything. So she's taking him for to beam over. Then she says no, holds the phaser and takes him into the holodeck. They like using this set, right? They say we got this Guinan bar set. We got to get more use out of it, and I'm very glad that they have, right? It's kind of like they did this a lot in Voyager. They tried to come up with a recurring holodeck place. They had that French bar for a while. I always liked the Bride of Chaotica, you know, where they had the Flash Gordon holodeck stuff. I thought that was really fun. So anyway, she's holding him hostage, right? And he turns. I love this. 10/4/2024 turns off the protocols, right? Love that. The safety protocols, and he has a gun that he pulls on it, right? And he says in perfect Bajoran, I assume, an ego that would lead you to betray me, right? So he's been planning this confrontation for fucking years, right? Like it played over in his head over and over again. And the frailty that gives him is fantastic, right? It really genuinely is. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's given the character. It's given a character we've known for how many years now? Was it 80s, the 90s, 2000s? Like we've known this character for like coming up to 40 years. It's given him more depth, right, and believability, right? And she's fucked off with him for sending him there, right? And so they have this Mexican standoff. Eventually, puts the gun down. Now she's convinced he's really Picard because she thought he might be a changeling. She knows everything that's going on, changeling everything. But we get this scene where they kiss and make up, and it's beautiful, man. I absolutely love it. Okay, back to this Vulcan, who is off the charts, awesome. I love this Vulcan, right? He's he eventually wants to get Raffi and Wolf to fight to the death. So yeah, we colleagues have made a wager who would win in a fight to death, a human or a Klingon? I say Klingon, right? And so they basically makes them do that. So Wolf says, okay, we're gonna like the weaknesses of your enemies. Basically something you said earlier. Good fight scene. And she takes him out, but obviously Wolf let her. This is massive, right? Because it really, they really sell his death, right? Is this the last of Wolf? Is he never gonna meet up with the rest of the TNG crew? No, and they do say that they just drag his body off. Like what? Wolf's dead? Meanwhile, the changelings are that I loved it when they beamed on. They I think no, that was a different scene. I think I got a picture of that. So they talk, and she says, "Look, Starfleet is completely compromised. There are changelings everywhere." Boy, does that fit into 2023? All right, I mean, unconsciously fits well into 2023. That's going to be when we look back at 2023. I believe it will be the year where we all knew how infiltrated we became by nefarious forces. I think this is a real allegory for what's going on in real life. And incredibly, Star Trek is painfully relevant again, right? As well as fun, as well as exciting, as well as great characters with great character moments. Like, this isn't just great Star Trek, this is great TV, right? So yeah, again, great scene. Wolf's dead is like, okay, now you're gonna work for me. He's like, and like they did drag Wolf off, and I like the snow. But Wolf's still alive. And he's taken all the people, and so fine. You're going to tell us how you break into Daystrom Institute, right? So this is so obvious what's going to happen is that it's protected by an AI, right? That's very clever. You need to outsmart it. I have a way of getting around the AI. Who is the AI? Moriarty. That is Moriarty, right? And probably the super weapon stolen his law. I think the somehow they're going to like load data into him. That's basically what I think is going to happen. Says logically, I will give you this device. Okay, that's basically what's going on. So she's like, okay, I'll give you some time, but you have to run. They're coming for you. So she and it basically it's a great moment of like years of emotional angst paid off, and she gives him something. And they walk away, and it looks, and it's her Bajoran earring. That was a big thing, saying, "Why aren't you wearing your Bajoran earring?" At the beginning, so that's why they thought she was was it a changeling, right? Like you should be wearing it, and I think that he commented on it was a test, right? So off she goes, and he goes to Shaw again. Shaw's fucking awesome, okay? A great character. We want more Shaw. He's like, we got to run now. They're going to kill us all. It's like, what? Security? No, listen, we don't have much time. Meanwhile, there is nothing that's not great about this scene, okay? There is the special effects, the direction, the character, the plot. Everything comes together perfectly at this thing in a gut-wrenching moment, showing us things we've never seen in Star Trek before, which are awesome, right? So, her two security people beam out, right? And like, where are they going? They beam onto Titan, and they go, and they turn into different security people. And I love this shot of her shuttle heading for the Intrepid. So she sees a timer, they're going to blow her up. This is the camera, and they change forms. I love this. And she says they try and beam her out, but she's too far away. And I said, "Look, I can't come back." Again, this is awesome. I can't oversell how awesome this is. Like, I can't make it back in time, but I can give you some time. And she valiantly sacrifices herself. And Patrick Stewart's reaction is fucking awesome, right? Again, this is the pain that these characters had was because they loved each other, right? And it was a genuine love, right? It felt like they slept with each other, but they certainly felt like they loved each other. And it's very reminiscent to the affection that you had between Saavik and Spock, right? There was a very, very close intimacy. They might have probably slept with each other as well. She's like, no, don't do it. We'll cover it. And no, connection lost. And just a wonderful scene. She flies the shuttle, boom, right into the nacelle, right? Again, look at the different design of this ship. At last, they're putting effort into this ship, right? Just a great scene. And Patrick Stewart is broken, right? It really, really is. It's not quite as good as when they killed David, right? But it's up there, right? And he is broken by it, right? They're raising shields. They're about to heating up their torpedoes, right? Great direction, great shot as it slowly turns, right, to attack them. And they're like, and he's dazed. He doesn't know what's going on. Like, he's in deep emotional shock. And it's like, we got to run right now. And so we're into the ultimate perfect Star Trek setup. They've stolen a starship because to go rogue on an important mission. Oh my God, we're in Star Trek 3 territory, and it's fucking awesome, right? It really. How can there be a red alert in space dock? Someone's stealing the Enterprise. Do you remember how awesome that was? Right, that is the territory we're in, and we're with Shaw, who is just a wonderful character having this, and we basically get everybody here. He's like, okay, red alert, right? Every battle stations. Meanwhile, the changelings find him, right? And he's like, okay. And his eyes turn red, and boom, he's like, kills them both instantly. He's super bad Jack Crusher now. And he sees all like the weird, creepy stuff. I'm going bad. So, and they've obviously got some connection to the shapeshifters. Might be a shapeshifter. A changeling, I should say. And so the torpedo's hot. They're trying to get the warp drive online, and they do just in time. Boom, a warp out, right? And off they go. And then they talk about Rose Earring, and they said, I bet there's something more going on there. And he finds it has all the data from the investigation. She's a handler for Wolf and Raffi, bringing the two stands together. Motherfucker, yes, at last. Right, at last. And he's like, oh, we got the whole conspiracy here. And then incoming message, right? Oh, it's so awesome. Right? And they're like, I'm surprised to see you. Right? So Ro was the handler. And they're like, we got to break into Daystrom Studio, right? Daystrom Institute. Shaw's like, what's going on? I really want more of this. Okay, here's the tragedy, right? They saved it before they killed it, right? Star Trek has to be. They're not doing it. They're not doing any more. They're not. I don't think they're going to be doing any more Picard. I don't think they're going to do Strange New Worlds. I think that they cancelled everything else. This is the end for now. Star Trek will be back, right? Star Trek will be back. Hopefully the fan films will be back. Oh, miss them. But like, they finally turned around too late. But it's still fantastic, right? Look, I'm optimistic of a miracle, right? Now, I don't believe in no-win scenarios, right? So Star Trek will be back. I hope Terry Matalas is back. I hope this vibe of Star Trek is back. Right, so finally we get a scene between Jack Crusher and her mother, and she says, "How'd you kill these people so precisely?" Says, "Because there's something wrong with me." And we're into the titles, which are also awesome. Da 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 da. No, it's more like da 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 da. Oh, it's just awesome. It's just awesome, mate. Right, Star Trek Picard. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. Bye.